Hello citizens of the verse. This video is going to be all about insurance, and to steal CIG's own paraphrasing, this topic is going to be about as exciting as you think it would be. But still, understanding how this concept is going to work is very important, especially since its first iteration is going to be established in 3.0. Ideally, it's not too far off from the way respawning in ships works right now. If you need to replace your ship, you make a claim via your mobiGlas and address it through a specific location, where presumably your ship will be delivered at. The premium rates will degrade by 1,000 UEE an hour, but this number will be subject to change and may even have already been altered since the recording of this video. Your premium rates will go up for every subsequent claim you make within a 24-hour period. After 24 hours has elapsed, your premiums prices will be reset back to zero. Every hour it drops in cost, and, once again after 24 hours have passed, all will be forgiven. This is being done mainly to generate a discussion on the issue of insurance, so by being a backer you have a voice as to how this concept is going to be realized. My suggestion for you is to voice that opinion and rally others to your cause. Start a thread on Spectrum so that this information can remain centralized and easy for others to look over and add to. It's interesting how the concept of insurance as it exists right now feels contrary to how they want people to think of their ships. To foster a relationship with it, and if they could, move heaven and earth to save it from going to the scrap heap. Instead, right now we just make an insurance claim as if to say, another one of those please. It's the opposite end of the spectrum in thought from having a connection to a ship. But this is only the first iteration of the insurance system. The act of creating insurance is like walking a tightrope. If you make it too punishing, you risk hindering gameplay. If you make it too forgiving, people will never start to develop that bonding relationship with their vessel that CIG wants. One way of achieving this is by having varied levels of insurance. For instance, right now insurance will only cover the default aspects of your ship. After filing your insurance claim, you'll not get back the weapons or components that you've upgraded, and later on when internal hardpoints are added, you could lose all of the flare items you placed inside it that you have worked very hard to acquire and may have combed the cosmos looking for. There are going to be unique and extremely rare items and components you could be in danger of losing because insurance won't cover it. Having things aboard your ship that are irreplaceable are going to add to the player's reluctance to file a claim for a new ship, and instead pursue all avenues to get your ship back, or repaired, rather than choosing to scrap it and get a new one. This isn't a final answer, but it is a step in the right direction. After 3.0 is released, they're going to be looking for feedback if the current system is too lenient or too punishing for a player cost-wise. There's a few things that they're going to be exploring in future updates. Lifetime insurance only covers the default equipment that comes with the ship, not any upgrades or aftermarket modifications that you've placed on it. They're also going to be looking to add high-risk insurance for bounty hunters and escort ships, or people who are going to be getting into fights as part of their daily routine. Your reputation is going to open certain policies up to you. Different ways of playing will offer different kinds of insurance, but LTI will only represent a base level of coverage that you don't need to make payments on. The addition of racing insurance will become a thing as well. LTI represents a base level of quality of insurance, it just doesn't expire, but they're exploring different levels of quality and even the ability to insure your entire fleet at once. This is a great idea because everyone's going to be able to acquire their own fleet eventually, and managing insurance for each individual ship within your fleet is going to get real tedious real quick. The idea is if you fly responsibly, better options for insurance will open up to you. And if you don't act responsibly, you're simply going to be denied those benefits. Also, they mentioned the idea of a pirate insurance policy, which at first made me laugh seeing how I already look at insurance as its own form of sanctioned piracy. But their explanation of what this would be makes sense, and if you think about it, is going to be a necessary component to gameplay for some people. The ones who would be insuring you would consist of criminal syndicates or bounty hunting guilds who would hold a vested interest in taking care of you, where it will be less of an insurance claim as it is a specified kind of deal you make with them, but in the end would work out the exact same way that normal insurance does. There's one question that I wanted to address and I'm hoping the explanation isn't more confusing than the question, but here goes. A friend of mine was having issues understanding what the need for LTI was going to be if there was already going to be different levels of insurance that you're going to have to also additionally pay for. For the sake of this argument, let's say that having a base level of insurance would cost you 100 UEC a month. Just to state for the record, so that no one misunderstands me, this number is arbitrary. I have no idea how much insurance is going to cost, nor do I know how often you're going to have to make in-game payments to keep your insurance active. This system is still being developed by CIG and is subject to change. So with that said, let's assume that the base insurance will cost 100 UEC a month. Now, if you wanted high-risk insurance, which would cover you while traveling outside of the United Earth Empire, that would cost you an additional 50 UEC. So the combined cost of the base insurance and high-risk insurance would now run you 150 UEC a month for a single ship. If you had LTI, that base insurance cost would automatically be taken care of, allowing you to have that same level of insurance, basic and high risk, for only 50 UEC. Having LTI essentially covers whatever the cost would be for basic insurance. It's also good to know that the cost of insurance is going to scale with the size of the ship and what kind of ship it is. It's no different than it is for cars. High-performance sports cars have higher insurance rates, and huge trucks cost more to insure than it does to insure a small economical sedan. So having LTI in a ship that fits into the large classification or higher is going to be a must. Hey, you out there, you still awake? If you are, then thank you for sticking with me throughout this entire video. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.